Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Vinyl Den, your channel for record collecting by record collectors. I'm Nick. It's Tuesday. It's time to talk about some new releases coming out this Friday, May 5th. There's about 500 albums coming out this week. I got 12 on the list to talk about today. There's a bunch of links down below. Make sure you go check them out. There's links for the Vinyl Den Facebook group, for the merch page, for the Spotify and Apple Music weekly playlist that we put together, and also the Patreon page. Make sure you go check all that out. Of course, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give me the old thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I release new episodes. Like I said in the intro, there's about 500 albums coming out this week. I'm only going to talk about 12 today, though. So if it's something I don't talk about on the show today, make sure you drop me a comment down below. Let me know what albums you're looking forward to picking up. And of course, like always, if you're unable to find any of these in your local brick and mortar stores, I'll put links down below. All these will be available online. There's a couple of really big new releases coming out this week. The first one, this is the Smashing Pumpkins Autumn. It's their 12th studio album. It's a 4 LP set. It's going to run $80 online, which I guess is kind of about the going rate for a 4 LP release. But this is a 3-act rock opera spread out over 33 tracks. I know Smashing Pumpkins have been working on this for 4.5 years. It's a big release that they've been doing. This is actually a follow-up to their 1995 hit album, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, which is one of my favorite 90s albums. I absolutely love that album. I think, in my opinion, it's the best thing that the Smashing Pumpkins ever did, but I haven't been a big fan of their last couple of releases, so I'm definitely going to hold off and stream that one before I decide to pick up a copy. There is an indie exclusive version of that. And I think the only thing that's different between the standard release and the indie release is I think the indie release comes with like a little poster. I think is about the only thing extra that comes with it. So you got that one, and then you got the new album from Ed Sheeran. This is Subtract. Ed always does these like goofy like symbols for the album, but this one's Subtract. He had divide and plus and equals. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of them. This is his 5th studio album. There's 2 different versions of this going to be available. There's a yellow version and then a clear version. The clear version is the indie exclusive. I'm sorry, not the indie exclusive. It's the Walmart exclusive version. And they're both going to run you about $25. I think there's another version. Well, there's a black version. I think there's also another version that's going to be out. I don't remember if it's a Walmart exclusive or a Target exclusive, but they're all right in that $25 range. This is produced and co-written by Aaron Dessner, who, of course, is the guitarist for The National. Worked on he worked on Folklore and Evermore with Taylor Swift. He's produced a lot of stuff since then, but so I'm really interested in that one. I'm not a huge Ed Sheeran fan, so it's another one I'll stream and check out. There is a couple of really cool jazz releases coming out this week from Buhloone. The first one, this is Freddie Hubbard, Blue Spirits. First released back in 1967. These are both part of the Buhloone Tone Poet series, which the Tone Poet series and the Classic series are both 2 great series that Buhloone's been doing over the last several years. The Tone Poet series, they tend to be about $10 to $12 more than the Classic series releases. And, they come with nicer jackets. They're nicer gatefold jackets. A better presentation, I think, with the Tone Poet series releases. But they both sound absolutely fantastic. I'm sure these are going to sound great, too. But this is Freddie's last album on Buhloone. It's going to run you about $40 online. And he has some of the biggest jazz musicians of the 60s on this album with Freddie. But you got guys like Joe Henderson, James Spaulding, McCoy Tyner, Herbie Hancock, Hank Mobley. Like I said, a big long list of just absolutely great jazz musicians. This week you've also got Gil Evans, great jazz standards coming out. A great jazz album released back in 1959. Has some great jazz musicians on this one also. You got guys like Johnny Coles, Steve Lacy, Bud Johnson, Elvin Jones. It's also going to run you about $40. This is all remastered from the original analog tapes by Kevin Gray. Like I said, these Buhloone, you can't go wrong with these Buhloone Tone Poet or Classic series releases. So both of those I got on my list this week to pick up. The next one's a pretty interesting jazz release. This is John Coltrane, live at the Apollo Theater, Dusseldorf, Germany, March 18th, 1960. I'm a big John Coltrane fan. It's probably my favorite jazz musician of all time. Absolutely love all the stuff he's ever released. But so this one's going to run you $26 online. So this is kind of an interesting release because in March of 1960, John Coltrane was on tour with Miles Davis's band, and he used Miles Davis's percussion or rhythm section and fronted that band, and then did this show, which I think was actually broadcast on radio in Germany back then. But this it's on clear vinyl. It's limited to only 500 copies. This is from a label called Destination Moon, which I am not familiar at all with this label. I guess I can probably go on Discogs, go online and look them up. So I'm not really sure of the quality of this release, but it's definitely one I'm interested in checking out if I can find a copy of it. You also got another release from De La Soul coming out this week. This is so De La Soul over the last month or two they've reissued their first couple of studio albums, which are both fantastic albums. I absolutely love their first two albums. I never really listened to anything past that, though, so I'm really unfamiliar with this album, other than it does have some really great reviews. But I believe the way you pronounce the title is Buhloone Mindstate. I think that's how you say it anyway. But it's going to run you $33 online. From what I understand, so this was released back in 1993. It's their third studio album, like I said. And from what I understand, it's a very musically diverse album, very different from the first couple of releases. So it's one I definitely need to go back and check out. I know there's some like instrumental stuff on there. It sounds pretty interesting. So like I said, I'm going to stream that one before I try to pick it up. Another really cool release coming out this week. This is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Awesome Mix Volume 3. It's the third and final installment of the Guardians of the Galaxy movie series and the great soundtracks that go along with them. I love the movies. I love the soundtracks even more. This one's gonna be no different. This is gonna run you $25 online. This is 17 tracks over 2 LPs. You got tracks by Radiohead, Space Hog, Heart, Faith No More, Alice Cooper, the Beastie Boys. List goes on and on. Like I said, great collection of music, and it's definitely one I'm gonna pick up this week. And then you've got this is Train Drops of Jupiter. First released back in 2001. It was Train's second studio album. This is on red and black marble vinyl. This is going to be a music on vinyl release, so it's definitely going to be a lot more limited than like a standard release is going to be. It's also going to be a little more pricey because music on vinyl releases tend to be that way. This is going to run about $43 online. Limited to 2,000 copies. This album actually reached number 6 here in the U.S. on the Billboard charts with triple platinum, won 2 Grammys. I've got a copy of it on black vinyl, so I'm okay. Not trying to hunt down another copy of it. But if you don't have a copy of that album, I think it's definitely a great one to try to grab. This week you got Dead Again by Typo Negative being reissued. First released back in 2007. It was their 7th and final studio album. It's a double LP. It's going to run you about $33 online. I was never a big Typo Negative fan. I had some friends back in school, back in high school, that were huge fans, and it was probably the last time I think I've ever listened to anything by Typo Negative. I was never a big metal guy, especially like that gothic kind of metal stuff, but I feel like this one's been reissued like multiple times over the last couple of years, and this is actually a re-release of the 2022 pressing, so it's really no different than anything that was available last year, but I always talk about wanting to broaden my musical horizons. It's probably a band that, like I said, I know a lot of people love this band. I guess I should probably go back and stream some of their stuff and check it out. Because, like I said, I haven't listened to any of their stuff in probably 25 years. This week, you've also got the Stone Roses, Sally Cinnamon coming out. This was first released back in 1987. It was their debut EP. This is on red vinyl. This is part of the RSD Essential series that they've done over the last year or so, or a couple of years. Going to run you $27 online. So this includes the standard version of Sally Cinnamon. Also has the 12-inch single mix. There's also B-sides. There's also 3 live tracks on here. It's half-speed mastered. It's one I'm unfamiliar with. I'm familiar with the first or the only 2 studio albums from the Stone Roses. So I definitely need to go back and check this one out. There's going to be other color variants available. I know it said when I was reading about when I was going through the press release for this, it said that there's going to be other color variants released over the next 90 days. So you figure, late summer, mid-late summer, you're going to see more of these coming out if you do miss out on this release. But it's definitely one I'll check out. And then this week you got 2 big releases coming out from Overkill. The first one, this is The Years of Decay, first released back in 1989. It was their 4th studio album. It's going to run you about $23 online. So this album was the last one to feature Bobby Gustafson on guitar. I don't know if it was before the tour happened or if it was during the tour for this album. He got in a huge fight with the other band members, and he either quit or he got fired. But one way or another, he was out of the band. And this one actually charted pretty well here in the U.S. It reached number 155 on the Billboard 200, which is actually pretty good for a thrash album. So you got that one coming out. And you've also got their next album, Horrorscope, coming out. This was released in 1991. It was their 5th studio album. So when Bobby Gustafson left the band, he was replaced by two different guitarists. He had Garrett Gant and Rob Canavino come on and do guitars on this album. And Terry Date actually produced this album. He actually produced the album before, so had kind of a same kind of feel, even though there's a different guitar tone to these albums, or a different feel with the guitar work. But both of them are pretty decent releases. Both of them are running about $23 online. Well, that's all I got for you today, guys. Thanks for checking the show out. A bunch of great stuff coming out this week. I'm interested in that Smashing Pumpkins Autumn. I'll stream that one first. I'm definitely going to grab both of those Tone Poet series releases. I'll grab that Guardians of the Galaxy release, because like I said, those soundtracks are absolutely fantastic. But drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys are looking forward to picking up this week. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give me the old thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. And that's all I got. Until next time, keep on spinning. Peace.